Cornwall, Ontario.
Repeat only. Good morning. The time is 8 o'clock a.m.
This is Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor, VA3EWV, Ernest, St. Andrews, West Ontario. Is there any priority traffic? Nothing heard. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this Friday's weekend edition, going into the long weekend and celebrating Thanksgiving on this long weekend. Good morning, everybody. This is VA3EWV from the Cornwall Coffee Conversation and Commute that runs from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday, until it doesn't run Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. Right now, it is 19 degrees outside. We have a 67% chance of rain. We're going to have a high of 23, a low of 14. The air quality is good right now, and we're going to have 1.9 hours of sunlight. So that means we're going to have overcast all day long. So we'll start now with check-ins. If you want to check in and say good morning or say that you're there, please come now. VA3EWV listening. Looks like everybody may be already en route and gone for the weekend. Today could be a short day, and that's okay. This is VA3EWV. I have also uploaded some YouTube videos last night. I happened to load up 5 new videos to the YouTube channel. And for those of you that are watching on Facebook and stuff like that, you can go to the YouTube channel and find those videos and enjoy those. Also, you could like and subscribe if you'd like to. I'm going to be putting up more stuff as the time goes by. Also, I'm trying to start a fall amateur radio tour. I have a couple of people already signed up for that. We're going to be getting the calendar out when I get the days in stone there. And what we're going to be doing is either inviting people into our ham shacks, virtually or in person, and letting people see the technology. Most of us know each other, so it's not like you're inviting strangers into the house. It's people you know, and they can see your shack. What I have found out, though, most of the people in the club just mostly have a handheld, and they're on a lunch tray in the living room, and that's okay. You know, a shack is a shack is a shack. Anyway, looking for our first check-ins today. This is VA3EWV listening. Oh, there we got some people watching this morning. I got my first contact yesterday in Australia. Let me turn the camera around here. This is VA3EWV. Also got my first Australian contact last night. That was confirmed. Did it on 70 centimeters. That was a pretty good contact for me. So I've got contacts in Brazil now, Colombia, Australia, of course the US and Canada. And I'm going to start building up that list and getting out there on those contacts. And that's from DMR. So hopefully you guys can get out there and get some contacts. I know that VE3GIN got his 159th contact from Samoa, and that was this week. That was pretty exciting. Anyway, if you want to come in and say good morning, please do so. I think my clock may be off a little bit, and I do need help getting that clock. I struggled yesterday with a computer clock trying to sync it with the QRZ, and I have it at least in the right time zone now, but I cannot get my clock on the computer and the clock on it to match. Anyway, this is VA3EWV, and we're listening. Turn off the light there. Alright, let's see what we got here. So where the old camera angle is at. That's not so bad. It works with that. There we go. Hello everyone, good morning. This is VA3EWV, Ernest in St. Andrews, West Ontario. We are on our up to 1 hour Cornwall coffee conversation and commute. We're doing check-ins for this long weekend edition. We're right into the Thanksgiving. Maybe a lot of people are out there traveling, and hope you're traveling safe to your destinations, and hope you're having some good eats and treats and stuff like that this weekend. Make sure you're safe on the road there. And also, if you want to check in, please come now. This is VA3EWV listening. Looks like we have a quiet morning today, that's for sure. Never seen it this quiet before. So I'm setting up my APRS for this morning. You see the symbol there if I can scroll in here. So this identifies my station on my APRS. If I can scoot over a little so you can see it. So it's coming through the radio, going through the antenna to the GPS antenna by the window there, and it's tracking the location. And I have friends that can message you and talk to you through the APRS, so that's pretty cool. See what's going on the calendar of events. Okay, so this has been updated. Good morning, everyone. This is Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor, VA3EWV. It is 8:08 a.m. on this Friday edition of the Cornwall Coffee Conversation and Commute. We're going into the Thanksgiving weekend, and we're doing check-ins. If anybody wants to come check in, please come now. VA3EWV listening.
Morning, Ernest. VE3PGC, we're on and listening.
Good morning there to you, Dan, VE2JMF. Thank you for checking in. I think most people are traveling. I have people coming into town for Thanksgiving. What about you guys, over?
I'll be traveling a little bit. Not quite sure where we're going or where I'm going or whatever. We'll just see. I'm out in Martintown for a few days and doing some fall cleanup.
QSL on the fall cleanup. Yes. Get up there and do it while the getting's good. We're supposed to have a lot of rain this coming week, so I've been told. And we're looking at a 67% chance here. But right now, it doesn't look so bad. Maybe it comes in spurts later on in the day. But yeah, get out there and get to it. You know, make sure you catch up with it before it catches up with you, over.
For sure, we're going to empty water barrels and, I cut the lawn last week, so I don't need, it's not growing very much now. Leaves are starting to fall, and I'm not looking forward to cleaning that up, but the problem with a big lot and lots of trees, if the wind got up, stirred up from the west there, would blow them all into the river as they fell, but that always doesn't happen. Whatever. Anyway, we'll let it go there. I'm playing with the radio there this morning a little bit, so I'm going to be checking in on a portable shortly. We'll just see what kind of a signal it's sending out. So we'll let it go for now, Ernest, and I'll be back in a few minutes probably. VA3EWV from VE2JMF.
Thank you, VE3EWV. Also, thank you about the emptying water barrels. You know, every time I talk on here, some people get more on the list and some people get stuff taken off. I have 2 water barrels behind the house, and I never even thought about emptying those out before winter. Thank you for that tip, and then I'll hit you up on why later on. And also, if you want to test your radio, just let me know. It's pretty quiet out here this morning. I can follow you around a little bit. VA3EWV, we're clear. Oh, and also, listen, anybody else want to check in, please come now. V3ARF, come on in there, Rob. How you doing today? Oh, and Rob, by the way, yeah, I should have brought my thing to get checked in. I spent 3.5 hours outside last night until mosquitoes ran me off and kept popping fuses or whatever, but I don't have any radios working over.
Okay, well, I have to drop by and have a look at that.
The funny thing is, too, before I did anything, you know, I had my multimeter out, had all my tools ready to go, had my plan, got the radios in there exactly where I wanted them, got them mounted, and I was actually very surprised at myself that I did that. And the wires are already there, as you already know from the other things. But before, so I went and took the fuse out that VA3 KCB, he said take that fuse out. So I went and got that out of the glove box, put it back in, got the meter, tested the wires, 12 volts. I'm like, great. So then I put those little ends on. I told you I had that little kit that I had bought. So I put 2 males on one side, 2 females on the other side. Tested it one more time before I plugged it in. Then turned the car off, attached the wires, turned it on. Both radios came on for a second, and then they went off, and I've never been able to get them on after that. So then you remember I had that cigarette lighter connection for the Alinco. So I went and got that, put that on the Alinco radio. It cranked up, so I'm like, thank God. It wasn't a fuse and I didn't blow my radio. And then I went back and saw that I had made a mistake with the wiring. Got that sorted out, plugged everything back in, and now I have no cigarette lighter connection or anything else. So I'm like, Anyway, back over to you, V3EWV.
Yeah, found that you have a short. Yeah. And you popped the fuse that gives you the power, so that's the good news. I think you couldn't go any further.
Yeah, so I checked the fuses on the radio, and thank God they have, you know, there's a fuse before you get to the radio. Then there's a fuse on the battery, right? And then there's a fuse under the steering wheel, because when I traced the wire, because remember I didn't install it, I had everything, you know, I know everybody's going to cringe on this, but I paid $360 something at Audiotronics in Ottawa there to install my Galaxy radio, my amp, and my antenna, right? And the reason I did that is because I don't want to blow my car up, right? Or catch it on fire or anything like that, right? So, I don't know. If I have to go back and have somebody install it, I would rather do that than to sit there playing around for hours. Because you know what? I did not like that at all, just back and forth and up and down and da-da-da-da-da. And you know, that's just a little bit too much. And I also discovered last night that he had my dash cam as a part of that. Because like I said, I traced the whole wire because I'm like, I was getting 12 volts. This should be working, right? And then I saw that he had put a cigarette lighter adapter midway and had a cigarette lighter adapter added to the dash cam, because what had happened, they had ran all the wires behind all the stuff, like all the, the dashboard and all that, so you couldn't see anything, which was really good. So when you looked inside the car, all you saw was the radio, the amp, no wires, everything's hidden, all professionally installed and stuff. And you know it looked good. So then I had to fish all that stuff out. And I see that the cigarette lighter thing looks like the wires are they're like a needle thin, and there might be some damage there. So I did notice that every now and then that dash cam would go on and off by itself sometimes. Over. Okay, well, I definitely want to be there for that one. So make sure you give me a call, I'll give you a hand. So that's pretty good, though, that you found some parts that'll work on there. So I guess it doesn't matter what the antenna, it's still made out of the same material, right? And all you have to do is trim it to size, and then you should be good. What frequency is that thing going to be covering, that particular antenna that you're getting reconditioned? Okay, so it's going to be covering 10, 12, 15, 17, and 20. Is that what you said?
There's 5 bands. It does that. 10, 15, and 20 were considered the old bands, and then it's almost history now. But the 12 and 17 were what we called the work bands. And so it's a five-band multi-array, multi-element, I should say, antenna. It's a partial log periodic. So it utilizes the shared elements in the in the traps with the trap system, so that you have like a lot of. I forget how many elements. I think it's like 3 or 4 elements of 20 out of the 11, and 5 of them are for 10 meters, and so on. But it shares all the elements for each band.
That's pretty good. I can't wait to see that one up in the air and get some pictures of that one. That's for sure. All right. Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad you are sharing that. You know, also in the car there, they had the they had my amplifier set on power straight from the battery, and he had told me, hey, look, when you turn on your car, the auxiliary thing will turn on your radio, okay? But your amplifier will always be on. You have to turn it off manually. So I almost, after I was getting discouraged last night, I got the multimeter back out, checked that stuff. It was still live. And then I chickened out because that's a much thicker cable than that other stuff. And I'm like, well, I better wait for somebody or whatever before I start, because I don't want to just, get two nice radios and even though the watt thing's showing 12 watts, I don't understand what's happening with that, why they won't come on. I was going to bring it back into the shack and hook them up to the power supply. That's what I'm going to do later on, just to make sure they're working and stuff like that. And then I'll try to figure out what to do, find some kind of like dummy thing to go, like something that I don't really care about that's 12 volts, and go see if I can get that stuff going. And then once I get that going, I can put my radios back on, man.
Now, to me, it sounds like a polarity issue, just from first blush from what I'm listening to. And that's what's happening, is you're popping the fuses because you're hooking, like the polarity's not right. So you're giving you 12 volts on your two wires, but I don't think the wires are well defined on which is positive and which is negative. So that might be what your problem is. So you might have a just reverse wire situation. I don't want you to go try it though. And just we'll wait and we'll see. We'll test it out.
Yep, the only thing I have to do is go all these cylinder type fuses. I guess that's what they're called. The long ones that are rounded, that are about an inch long, I guess. I checked all those, and then there are those little ones that have 2 feet on them. They're very small, very, very small. So there was a 20 and a 25. So there's this, I traced it to under the steering wheel there. And that one, I've never seen anything like it. Once I pulled it, it has 2 fuses on this little apparatus, that has the power to it. And one's a 20, one's a 25, and they're on the same thing. I saw that the 21 was blown. And then instead of taking a picture like I was trained to while working on computers, I didn't take a picture, and I was like, well, doggone it. I don't know which one's supposed to be the 20, which one's supposed to be the 25. When I looked at the little thing inside of the car that shows you all the numbers, right, I couldn't even find that. So that must have been something that they were using, in their connection thing at that audio place. Anyway, like you said, we'll look at it later. I'm in no hurry for that, by the way. It is the Thanksgiving weekend, so we can't get to it no time soon. We might hit it up next week. Over. Now that you mention that, I remember that something happened on a trip, and my dad had this black car. It had the gear shift on the collar, and he had a long handle screwdriver into that. So you can already know I'm going with this one. And something happened, we're in between Texas and Louisiana, and he's like, doggone it, I blew a fuse. I remember him saying that. And then I do remember him doing something where he connected whatever. I don't know what it was. He just kept looking around the car until he found something. And then we start seeing stuff flashing or whatever, Oh, yeah, the headlights weren't coming on. So he rigged something up, and every time we hit a good bump, you'd see it like dim a little bit, right? And then he had to go in there a couple times and put whatever he did back in there, trying to get it going. Unfortunately, I've had no hoopties like that in my time. Everything's worked right, but I've from the moment I got a car, I made sure I had like the AllStar stuff and CAA and you name it, and anything that's been put in it, my stereo systems, my radio stuff, it's always been professionally installed over. You killed me with that one. It's going through some megawatts there. Things about, oh my goodness, it's about to melt. That's a good one, Rob. Where are you heading off to today, by the way? I hear that. Well, thanks for checking in too. We're going to be right back to you, hopefully before you get to Alexandria. This is VA3EWV with VE3ARF and with VE2JMF. Looking for more check-ins on this long weekend edition, Thanksgiving weekend edition of the Car on the Wall, Coffee Conversation and Commute. If you want to be the next person to check in, please come now. I think all the guys are out at the grocery stores because I know that's where I'm going after this. Because it's time to go get stuff for the weekend. So the wife wants to go early now while some people are at work. But a lot of people get those 4-day weekends. You know, they take off the Friday, the Saturday, Sunday, and the Monday. So what are you guys going to be doing for the holiday? Are you going to be staying in town or are you going to be traveling there, VE3ARF? Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I understand that. You don't want to get stuck back there. You're right. You know, that truck is pretty high off the ground though, but you know, maybe you need an airbag system on it. You know, so you can do that lift and then go down the hill there, eh?
Yeah, well, it's a poor design on the back bumper. It's like an add-on back bumper that they put on. It's really a cheesy, cheap little aluminum step system, and it's so low to the ground that if I back somewhere on an incline, it immediately hits dirt. It's so low to the ground. So that's the problem. So I have to have kind of a level grade to back in. So that's what I have to worry about. So I've already done it where I hit the ground and I broke the thing in my own backyard. So I said, well, now to get past that, I have to add that soil so that I'm not as on a steep incline as I'm backing down that little. It's only a foot.
Okay, well, if you get here before you do that, remember I had all of that fill brought here, and I have a lot of nice patio things, stones or slabs or whatever you call it. And you might, instead of putting all dirt, you might just, because I know this is temporary, you might just be able to put like 2 on one side, 2 on the other side, then fill it over with dirt and stuff like that, and then, back down that way. I've done that around the house myself to save on just so much dirt, eh?
Yeah, the last time I did it, Ernest, I put in some concrete, those concrete blocks that they build foundations with. I had about 4 or 5 of them in there, pulverized them. I drove down, just pulverized them. When I managed to get back out, I had to just clean up basically concrete powder, dust, and rock. Took the wheelbarrow over and cleaned it all off the grass.
While you blew through it. Hey, before I forget too, and I know you're busy with your commute there, I spent a long time yesterday trying to get my clock right. Because I remember you had mentioned that my clock wasn't matching QRZ, and because I got a couple more contacts last night, so I actually went into the computer, was able to. So it says 1236 UTC, and I have 833, which is right now. But here's the thing: no matter what I tried to do in the clock settings, the minutes they always start drifting apart, eh?
Well, what you have to do there is you set your clock to the Eastern Standard Time, okay? That's what you do. And then in the settings in QRZ, you have to make sure that the UTC is set for whatever, how many hours the differential is. So that's where I think the setting is in QRZ. So when you upload to QRZ, you're doing it. You look at it, right? You add your contact in QRZ, and if you look at the time, just make sure that it's in UTC. That's how you get around that.
Yeah, but like when you pass by, I'll show you because I want you to see it. Because here's the situation: every clock around me right now has 8:37, except for my computer. And I went in and I said, okay, I'm going to set the time manually. So let's pretend I set the time manually right now for 8:37. Within 24 hours, the thing drifts off like 3 or 4 minutes. And I'll tell you the problem with that. When I was working at Canada Post, I was on the retail help desk, and people calling with problems, saying I can't make a sale, sub's not working, this. We would say, okay, what time is it on your clock? And if the clocks were drifted off more than 6 minutes, you could make sales because something wasn't lined up. So we would have to go into the system because they weren't allowed to touch the clock because we had that we had admin stuff on that. So we would log into the computers remotely, set the clock back to the right time, and then it would take about 6 months for them to drift. My computer's drifting time it's what is it, 8:35 now, and the computer's drifting off all the time. I don't know what's going on with that.
Oh, yeah, I have a fix for that for you too. So in the FT8 world, you have to be, you remember I told you you have to be so accurate? I mean, within the point seconds, like milliseconds. So there's a little software program that you can install on your computer, and it actually checks your computer clock, the CPU clock, you can set it up to be every minute. And if it gets out of line, it goes to the NIS nuclear clock and resets your CPU clock. So you're always accurate. And it's a very small program, and it just runs in the background.
Okay, all right. I saw you doing that, and I remembered it, but I thought that was something in Windows. So last night I spent, I don't know how much time after bowing out from the radio installation. Then I came here and wrestled with the clock, and I was like, I'm going to get through it. But so that's another program. Also, when I was doing that, there was an update that Windows needed to do for the clock anyway. So I let it do the update and stuff like that. But now I'm remembering I didn't even restart the computer after the update. So I'll do that first to see what's going on, and then when you come by, we can kill the 2 birds with the 1 stone and get that time set up. Over. Go ahead, please. Someone trying to call in, go ahead. This is VA3EWV listening.
Oh, I guess I shortened my time. VA3EV.
Oh, go ahead, Rick. How you doing this morning?
Oh, I had my ears working. That was about all. Yeah, you made me look at something, and this computer is set automatically synchronized with time.windows.com. So, I don't know. My time on my laptops that I use here for logging and everything like that is set to Eastern time. But if you have a logging program, it usually sets it up automatically for Eastern Standard, for UTC over.
Yeah, exactly. And I didn't have a problem with that, but what I was noticing, I thought I just had a problem with my computer to the logbook. But then when I looked around me, you know, I have my weather thing that has the time, my watch, my phone, my Google thing over here to the side, my, like there's 6 different clocks in the room. All of them match what's on the QRZ except for my computer. And right now, I have it set to time automatic, you know, like time automatically set, that's on. Adjust for daylight time is on. Set time zone automatically is on. Then I clicked on sync now yesterday. Let's see what happens. So when I clicked sync now, just now it's back to 8:41. Now all my clocks show 8:41. But I'm gonna check in like, you know, tomorrow morning, and this thing has been off. Like yesterday I did all this, and then this morning it was almost 6 minutes off.
Weird. If this thing is set up for the synchronized with internet time server, I got it checked off in my internet time settings, and it should keep the thing right on the money, Ernest. That's what I can see. Most computers don't have it on and drift, yeah. But that's what I find on my computer, Ernest, over.
Yeah, so that's that machine that I had formatted just for the you know, just for the ham radio stuff. I think you have the same situation, and I think Rob does too. We have our like regular computer for our regular stuff, and then this. I'll see what it does. It's just weird, and I just happened to notice that it does drift off. But anyway, Rick, you doing anything special for the Thanksgiving thing? You doing any traveling, or you just are you going to be at home?
No, I'm hanging around the house as usual. The only thing I wanted to do this morning is to get some information on getting my timing belt changed in my vehicle before it blows the engine up. It's like way past due. Should have been done at 60K, but or 60,000 miles, which is 80. What was it? Can't remember now. All I know is I'm up and it's like on a T at the top of it, about 7 feet above the tower. And I had put that in. It was kind of nice to go up on the man lift and just pick the thing up and drop it in the hole into your rotator, and that made things so much easier. But I did the same thing basically with the antenna. You just kind of roll it up on. You put the sides on the thing. They got 4-foot sides on it. You kind of just pick the antenna up, slide it Thanks, you guys. Have a good morning. VE3EWV mobile.
Thank you, Rob. Have a good day. Thank you, and I hope you have a good weekend there. Any more check-ins on the Cornwall Coffee Conversation Commute? It is 6:53 a.m. Well, no, yeah. No, yes. It is 8:53 a.m. Okay, on this Friday, Thanksgiving long weekend, we've had VE2JMF, VA3BS, VE3SX, VE3ARF, VA3EchoVictor, and myself all check in. Anybody else want to check in before we end the net today? VA3EWV listening.
VA3EWV mobile. Bravo X-ray Juliet, how are you this morning?
I think I heard two channels. I think I heard Roger VA3GBV. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Mobile. Just arriving to my destination. Over.
Okay, Roger. Thanks for checking in too, man. And hope you guys are having a good holiday weekend. Will you be traveling or staying at home? That's my only question. Did you catch that, Roger? VA3GBV for Thanksgiving. Are you guys doing staying at home or y'all traveling abroad?
Just staying at home. Do you copy this? Over.
Oh yeah, you sound really good. Sometimes I just talk when I should be listening, eh?
That's okay. I'll have to check out because I'm just arriving to my destination. VA3GBV clear.
Thank you so much, Roger. You have a good rest of your day. VA3BXY. I think I have that call sign correct. If I don't, come on in there. This is VA3WV.
VA3EWV, this is VA3BXJ. Sorry about the doubling.
Oh no, so how was your trip? Good to have you in there, Brendan. How was your trip abroad?
It was amazing, actually. Never seen the Rockies, and I'll probably never unsee them because they're just beautiful beyond words.
Well, I have to get out and see Canada. We spent all this time traveling all over the place, and we have all this stuff right here in Canada. So I'm going to have to definitely check it out. I would love to see that. I've heard songs about the Rocky Mountains and everything else, but I have never gone to see anything. I've only been in just Ontario, well, except for Saskatchewan, but I need to go out there and see that too. I would love to see some pictures. I know you're a picture taker, so I can't wait to see pictures. And now you're coming home right when it's the Thanksgiving weekend. So are you guys going to head back out somewhere else, or are you going to be at home here over the holidays, though?
I definitely have hundreds of photos to go through and edit, but I will gladly share them when they're ready, absolutely. And for Thanksgiving this weekend, I'm heading to my family and having an informal Thanksgiving, just a barbecue and a hangout. And then with the in-laws, we got the full turkey dinner jib happening on Sunday, and I can't wait because I'm already hungry for it.
I hear that. I was like, okay, yeah. Because ever since we moved to this place, the wife loves to entertain and have everybody over, right? And we have all these kids that are grown up, married. My other daughter got married like 3 weekends ago. I'm like, why don't we go to their house? We have 5 adult kids. Why can't we just roam around, right? Because what happens, as you're saying, once you have all these people and in-laws, then it starts being hard, right? Or they got, because they'll come over here and it look like they want to leave because they got to go, other places. And unfortunately, some of the kids have, stepdads and this, that, and other. So they're seeing 3 or 4 people at the same time trying to get it in. Hey, I'm like, why don't we just bring our Tupperware with us? Let's just hit all 5 houses and come back with a week's worth of, or a month's worth of food. That's what I want to do, over.
I think that's a fantastic idea, and you should put that into motion right away. Tupperware for the win.
I'm telling you, I'm like, excuse me. Because even though there are kids and stuff, you know, with their husbands and their grandkids and all that stuff, and they do help around and things like that, but you know, it's entertaining. And I'm like, I would just love to go somewhere and eat and leave and come back home, you know, and just relax and stuff. Because, you know, the kids love being here. And when I'm ready to go to bed, they're still, you know, the grandkids like, let's go, let's go, let's go, which I love. And I found it seems like I have to take like 2 or 3 days off after after a holiday like that over.
I hear ya. I don't even know how you make it to the evening after eating a meal that big. I passed out probably about 45 minutes after for a good little power snooze. Over.
QSL on the power snooze. Hey, that's what it's all about. Everybody in my house, we're all knocked out on Thanksgiving, you know. A person could come in and take the rest of the turkey. We wouldn't even know it. We're all out. We'd have to watch the footage on the videos. Well, I'm glad you had a great time out there. Glad to have you back, too. Also, we're going to be kicking off, just to let everybody know, I'm doing a fall amateur radio tour. Today it kicks off at my house today. I'll have my house open after 5 o'clock, and I will be on the air streaming and stuff like that. So if anybody wants to come over and see the shack, they're welcome to reach out to me. If you have a QRZ, everything's there. You can reach out to me there. Or just send me a message on Facebook if you have Facebook there. Or if not, you can, well, you have my information, so you can just message me. Anyway, that's what we're going to be having. It's going to be quite fun. We have about 5 hams that are going to be doing that. Not everybody has a ham shack. Some people just has a portable radio on a dinner tray stand. But hey, as long as you can get out, you can get out. Anyway, it's going to be a fun event. I hope you're able to participate there, Brendan. It's going to be running from today the 6th. Let me roll this. It's running from the 6th of the month to the I think the 3rd of November, something like that. But everybody's going to be putting the dates that they are available on the calendar, and I'll be putting it up on the website, okay? I won't have addresses or anything like that, or phone numbers, email addresses. You just have to reach out to me, and then we'll coordinate those visits. Anyway, that's what's going to be going on and what's happening here. And next weekend, we have the club breakfast. The stuff that I do on my site is affiliated with the club, but I am a member of the Amateur Radio Club here in Cornwall, and they do have a breakfast next Saturday at 8:30 at Pitt Street at Spinner. So we would love to see some of you guys there. Anyway, VA3EWV, we have a chance for one more check-in. Anybody else want to check in before we go? VA3EWV. Okay, we had a great morning this morning. Just to sum it up, we were with VE2JMF, Dan, VE3ARF, Bob, Rob, VA3ECHO Rick, VA3GBV, Roger, VA3BS, Dean, VE3SX, Marshall, VA3 Bravo X-Ray Juliet, Brandon, and yours truly, VA3EWV. Everybody have a great time. And 7-3 to you all, and have a great and safe Thanksgiving weekend. We'll see you on Monday. Oh, Gabriel's watching too. Good morning there, Gabriel. Good to have you on there. All right, we're going to be ending today's thing with your boy VA3EWV. Who else was watching this morning? So Gabriel was watching. Ron, thank you for watching as well. So I'll put Ron on the list today. And then Gabriel. All right, guys, y'all have a good rest of your day. Enjoy your long weekend out there. Be safe, eat good, and have a good time with friends and family. We'll see you later. VA3EWV, we're clear.